My name is Victoria Friedman, and I'm co-founder with Ron Friedman of Vistar Foundation. And welcome to a Vistar Evolutionary Circle. And today we're going to do this rather quickly because we only have a 10-minute video. So we're going to start with a statement from Ron about the purpose of the circle.
Thank you, Victoria. The purpose of this circle, in terms of content, is to explore and share an evolutionary worldview and how it involves not only the world, but our personal lives and how we put it into action. At the same time, it has a very large underlying purpose, which is to develop a prototype for conscious human dialogue in an evolving society. And from that will come a new relationship, we hope, between people and between their sense of responsibility to each other and to the world.
Thank you very much. Every evolutionary circle has a leader, and we rotate leadership. And so for today, I'm going to be leading the circle. And usually there are 4 guide rules that we talk about, and you as a leader would be spending some time really explaining those guide rules. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to mention them. So the first rule is to raise our hands to contribute, and then to contribute on the topic for 1 to 3 minute contributions. And also there are no questions during the time of the circle, and that there's no crosstalk, which is a form of personalization. So we usually start a circle with a moment of silence at Vistar, and that's usually about a minute long. Today we'll just close our eyes and open them again for the purpose of this video. But when you're leading, you will be able to do something creative in this point. Take some time to do a meditation or chanting or anything, poem or anything creative, music that might come to you. So I would ask everybody now to close our eyes for a moment, and then we'll start with the topic. The topic this evening is our conscious participation in the evolutionary process. Conscious participation. Our conscious participation in the evolutionary process. And I'd like to read something from Barbara Marx Hubbard. Conscious evolution is the evolution from unconscious to conscious choice. It marks a phase change in evolution itself, leading to the vast empowerment of humanity in our ever-evolving universe. Some very beautiful words. The empowerment of humanity. And this is so important for us because how we view our situations, our lives, ourselves, what's going on in this world, has everything to do with our context for that perspective. And so we either view ourselves from a very small perspective, our own little lives, or we think of something more global, even universal, the perspective of conscious evolution. What is the meaning? What is happening to us in terms of a larger picture? And how we view these things is very important because that's where our solutions or how we're going to live our lives come from. How we see ourselves in this entire picture. Deborah.
I love how she talks about, going from unconscious to conscious, and that in its very self is the shift, is that she's talking about, and how in our lives from going from unconscious, although we think we're conscious, to becoming conscious of this bigger movement and how we can participate in that is the very evolutionary process itself.
Yes. Bettina.
I also feel it allows everyone to wake up to their own circumstances. We may be challenged on our jobs or in our personal relationships, but if we slightly shift the way that we feel about them, that means we can actively participate in them instead of fighting them. And thinking that we're victims, now we could co-create with consciousness itself.
Yes. Christina?
Yeah, and that connects to what, in the statement that you read about the vast empowerment of humanity, that by waking up to our circumstances or waking up consciously, that all our potentiality can then unfold.
Yes. Stephanie?
I also think that with consciousness, when we're unconscious, we are reacting. And through consciousness, it's almost like we can contain and help our other brothers and sisters in humanity. So if I am in a reactive state, I'm not conscious. But if I'm conscious and somebody comes at me in just regular human relationships, I'm able to hold the space and be able to contain it, therefore almost providing healing in relationships from just being conscious, from not reacting, this is bad, or why do you feel this way, but just allowing it to be.
It's beautiful, and isn't it also the fact that we might even consider that we have a choice, because we're evolving human beings, and there's a choice, that we get to a point where there's a choice, where we can actually begin to act in a different way. Because, you know, that evolutionary impulse also gives us a lot of help along the way, because we have, when we entertain it, when we consider and align ourselves with it, there's a lot of help that comes to us from that. Viviana?
And also it's like we become the source for other people to really understand what is to evolve, to become conscious, because there's a lot of people that do not have any idea of this. And with this way of having another choice, another way of living, people are going to come with us to join in this impulse of evolution.
Yes. Barbara?
Yeah, and when we were speaking, Ron was speaking about the circle earlier, and in that, every action that we take from a conscious level goes out into the circle of mankind. And there are many people that are watching us. There's many levels of a conscious act that happen in the atmosphere.
Yes, and that's one, I think, beautiful kind of fruit of the worldview of conscious evolution, that we are here to make a difference. That we're not here just to meditate, we're not here just to find our own spiritual development. And most of us here have done that. I mean, we've all followed a single spiritual path and developed ourselves and did all the practices. But there comes a time where we have to reach out. We have to be able to give it away, as they say, and be able to be responsible for more than just our own spiritual development. Craig?
Thinking of when she mentioned the word power and what was just said earlier, is in a sense the power is really the perspective of who and what I am, which is really the most immediate sense of evolution. It's not in time. That a certain level here has a perspective of life and what I can and can't give and what my abilities are, but at a different level it evolves in the moment, and identity has a whole new set of responsibility, and from that level there's connectedness, there is a willingness and a desire and an ability to give.
Definitely, as long as we're centered just on ourselves, our own development, our gifts never come out. They really, really don't. They get stuck because they're waiting for us to want to give something back to the universe. Ron?
I think it's absolutely a fantastic consideration to think that an entire species becomes conscious of everything that it has done in its history and has the ability to change its course. There is no other species on Earth that can do this. Just to feel that, what it actually means after eons, to look back and say, I can choose, I can change, I can determine my own destiny, is awesome.
It is, and just the fact that we're consciously participating in an evolutionary process, that somehow we are part of this entire huge vista, and that something happened, 14 billion years ago? And that we're that emotion, we're still creating, we're still evolving, and that's part of our heredity. It's just amazing, yes. Christina?
And it's wonderful also to see that this impulse is growing. There are more and more people that are feeling the impulse and feeling, in a way, the choiceless choice to contribute, to do something, to change. You know, things are so grave, it seems, that it's becoming, you know, it's critical. It's critical that people do something, and to want to contribute like that. What's most remarkable to me is that it's become a choiceless choice for many.
Yes. Jordan?
It was said earlier about, I believe the words were altered human relationship. And I think of my general relationships, I categorize them as either good, bad, or no relationship. When consciousness enters, you have that ability for an altered human relationship, something entirely new.
Okay, thank you. Coming to the, let me have Joanna, and then one more.
I don't know, I just feel we're so fortunate to be born at this time. I mean, this is like such a special, critical time, and it's like really a privilege to be here now and to just be witnessing and part of all of what's going on. It's just so incredible. I mean, humans have been on the planet for so many millions of years, but we're facing something, I think, that's very different, that's never been faced before. Like, either we change or else, you know. So, I mean, it's really incredible.
I think it's called Evolve or Die.